Cyclone Grant may not have lived up to expectations in Darwin, but what's left of it is still causing problems across the Northern Territory. Near Katherine, about 300 kilometres south of Darwin, a freight train has been washed off a bridge. Member for Katherine, Willem Westra Van Holthe, is at the scene and says it's chaos.
Well, look, I'm on the Stuart Highway looking at where the Stuart Highway crosses the Edith River, and it's a scene I'd describe as devastation. I've never seen anything like it in the 27 years that I've lived in the Northern Territory. It's quite unbelievable.
So exactly what's happened? Has a massive wall of water been travelling down the river and has gone over the tracks, or can you explain to us what you think's happened?
Well, we had an enormous amount of rain in the last 24 hours in some areas around Katherine, over 300 millimetres, which has caused very, very fast stream rises. And the Edith River is one of those that's come up very, very quickly. It's cut the Stuart Highway, so it's gone across the road bridge, caused a lot of damage to the road. I can see sheets of bitumen that have been lifted up and taken off the road. But the worst part of this is that at some stage this morning, the northbound freight train going over the railway bridge has tried to cross, and some of those carriages have been washed off the bridge into the river.
And it's a very large train, it's a large freight train. How many carriages would there be, and what's the train carrying?
Well, if there might be 40 or 50 carriages on this train, just at a guess, and it'd be mixed freight, there'd be refrigerated containers and all sorts of things. Having looked at it as I'm sitting here right now, I can see some of those containers that have washed down the river, and they are lodged against the road bridge. So they've travelled about 150 metres downstream, and they're stuck against the road bridge as we speak. So
is there any part of the train actually, or those carriages actually left on the track?
Yes, at the turn-off here, there's a railway crossing, and quite a fair bit of the train is still upright and just sitting across the crossing, so that road is blocked by the train. But a little bit further to the north, say 100 or so metres, you can see where a number of carriages have gone over. They've fallen into the river, and there's significant damage to the track up there. I've been for a walk, and you can see where large parts of the substructure of the railway have been washed away. And this train is a mess. It's going to take some time to clean up.
Now, what's known about the train's drivers? Have they sustained any injuries?
Well, as far as I understand it, the locomotives made it to the other side of the river, so they are safe, and the carriages and what have you have broken away behind the locomotives. So the two drivers, as I understand it, on the other side of the river are going to be picked up by helicopter because they're isolated. But as far as I understand it, they're okay.
Willem Westra Van Holthe, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for your time.